Good morning, it's Monday. Welcome. This is the Journey of Mela Lifestyle, morning moments, madness, and meditations. If you're just joining me, my name is Camila Tibbetts. I'm a serial entrepreneur. This journey originally started as me wanting to share my journey of launching Mela Lifestyle, and that has launched. Thank you for all of your orders and your support, your feedback. So this originally started as a journey of me just sharing like what it looks like to launch a company, how that looks. Like I've had and I've scaled businesses in the past, but this is a solo project for me and really a passion project. So welcome if you're new, and let's just dive right in. So I always like to start with what is the madness, right? Like what's going on like in this journey of launching a lifestyle website in the midst of everything going on in our world. Wink, wink, you know what I mean? The reason why I don't say it is because one of the things you always want to do when you make content, you really want to make evergreen content. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you want to make content that can kind of transcend time, right? So if someone's watching this on IGTV or any other platform that we have 2 years from now, you know, while they're on holiday in Turks and Caicos, they can still have a relation. If we make things so time sensitive, you can't repurpose it. And you know, you want to make content and marketing materials that you really can repurpose for your business, for your organization. So I digress. So moments, madness, and meditation. So, okay. So let me just tell you where we're at. Definitely the mac and cheese. Like we started a series in the kitchen with Camila, and on Friday night I made, I filmed my mac and cheese recipe. And just so you know, like if you look at the picture, if you go to @mela.lifestyle at our Instagram or even mine, when I took that picture, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I was super, I mean, I don't know if you could tell, but I was super sleepy. Like I made that really late because I procrastinated. But thank you so much. I had so much fun making it and just talking to you guys while I was pouring, mixing, you know, putting the cheese on. I got a little owie, but like that's what happens, right? When you cook and you get dirty, like it's gonna happen. So the mac and cheese recipe was a huge success, Mela's mac and cheese. You can still see that IGTV video on Mela Lifestyle's Instagram. And we also have a blog post about it on the website. And the name of our blog is Be Known Blog. And we titled our blog Be Known because we really have a heart here at Mela Lifestyle and a movement of having people be fully known in their environment. So mac and cheese recipe went great. Did a lot of self-care on Sunday. I don't know if you saw my story this morning, but literally I always joke that my apartment's like a shipping and warehouse facility. And so I finally received like this shelving. And so I was able to put all my, a big portion of my inventory on the shelf. And I showed you guys that this morning. So, but here's the deal. Like when you have something put away in boxes, it doesn't make it as real as when you take it and put it on the shelf. And what do I mean by that? I mean, okay, so I had everything in boxes, and inventory, you know, that's you using, you know, your capital to buy, you know, you're buying inventory and it's sitting, and if it's not selling, it's sitting on the shelf. And so there was something this weekend when I was taking all the inventory out of the boxes, lining it up. I'm like, okay, 1 bath salt, gotta sell that. 2 bath salt, and then like I'm literally lining all the products up, and I'm like, I gotta sell this, right? I gotta sell this. And so, you know, but I know that, and I'm very clear about where we're at, right? And so we have a lot of big goals for Mela Lifestyle in the beginning of this launch. The first is, our number one goal is to build community, right? Like to bring people around, to have them really understand, like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're going after, and have them come alongside us and just create a movement of lifestyle and home and being known and being a homemaker. And a homemaker doesn't have to look like what you saw in Good Housekeeping. Like you can be a homemaker in your home, and that can be for you. So that's a huge goal. Another goal is to give you inspiration and tools, right? So during this time, we're always giving tools, whether it's feedback, quotes, recipes, you know, whatever you need, how to set a table, all those things. And another is to share the brands that I've curated. You know, one of the things that's really important to me as a tastemaker is to really find brands that you wouldn't see like in your normal brick and mortar store. So those are the 3 goals. So when you think about launching something, yes, sell, that is a part of it, but you have to be sensitive to your community and what's happening in the lives of others. Is that our meditation this morning? No, but I just wanted to share that with you because this is what I really try, I'm really sensitive about of what's going on. So I also did a cute little table setting of how to take things out of your apartment or out of your home and create a Thanksgiving table that's kind of not basic, but just, it's different, right? It's going to be like a low-key Thanksgiving. It may be different. And I know a lot of you have told me, especially when you gave me the feedback for the mac and cheese, that you're doing Friendsgiving this week. And so for some of you, you may be doing Friendsgiving earlier in the week and then you leave and go to a parent's home. I don't know what the travel restrictions are, what that looks like for you. For some of you, your Friendsgiving is your Thanksgiving and you're combining the two, and that's okay. But our meditation this morning, I really want to focus on being folded into, right? I was thinking about that when I was making the mac and cheese because, I take the cheese, I'm taking the cheese, I'm putting it in the roux, and I'm folding the cheese into the roux, right? And then I'm taking it and I'm putting it in the oven and in this container, and it's baking. It becomes a meal. It becomes sustenance, right? It becomes a way to gather, like around this dish. It becomes a topic of conversation. So when we think about our meditation this morning, I wanted to ask you, like, what are you folded into, and what does that mean? Like when you say, I don't know what that means, Camila, folded into. And what folded into really means, if you've heard it in past or you're not really clear, if this is the first time you're hearing that phrase, it's when you're combining something that was previously separate and you're combining it so it can be dealt with together. So I'm going to say that again. Folded into. Combining some people that were previously separate, and so that they can be dealt with together. So in this morning's meditation, I'm asking you, what are you folded into? Like, what are you being brought together into this week, this Thanksgiving, this week of gratitude? What are you folded? What was previously separate in your life, and now that you're going to combine? And so a lot of you, that may mean different things, right? It could be, Camila, I'm living with my partner, we're engaged, like we're about to get married. So we're learning how to come together in partnership. Camila, I have been estranged. I've been away at college. I've been estranged from my parents. And with everything that's happening, I was separate, kind of being my own person, living my best life. And now I'm back in the home, the childhood bedroom that I grew up in. And I'm having to come together with my parents in this unit in a different type of way. Or sometimes being folded into maybe a thought process, right? Like, Camila, I'm really changing right now. And who I am and who I choose to be in my home and in the world is no longer about what I've been told I need to be, but living authentically in the truth and the power of who I am. So that's our first meditation this morning. It's like, what are you folded into? Like what is that was previously separate in your life, or that you compartmentalized in your life, and now it's all going to come together in a mighty way. And we think about that when we come to the table, right? Because when we come to the table, we're coming with our experiences. We're coming with our conversation. We're coming with our shyness or apprehension. We're coming with our hunger. We're coming to be nourished, right? And that's what we do at Mela Lifestyle every morning when we come together. My hope is that I can nourish you or give you some thoughts to ponder that will take you throughout your day, right? Like these are meditations that, it's almost like planting a seed, right? These are meditations that I get to give you and get to share with you that will take you as you're on your individual road. So first meditation this morning is, what are you folded into? How will you show up at the table this week, right? And in order for us to show up at the table and move to the center, we have to be really clear about what we're folded into and how we come together inside. So first meditation this morning is, what are you folded into? Second meditation is Start Anew, right? And so what do I mean by that? This is really like, I always talk about a low-key Thanksgiving. I say low-key a lot because I don't want to put a lot of pressure on the quote-unquote the meal. I really want to underscore the power of just coming to the table, right? So it's not the pressure of the meal, but the power of coming together. And maybe that should be our meditation. I don't know. We'll see. But we don't want to put put pressure on the turkey, or I can't find this ingredient, or like I like everything, there's nothing on the shelf right now. So it's not the pressure of the meal per se, it's the power of coming together. And we're coming together in a different way in this season, right? Like we're coming together virtually, or we're coming together just with our roommates, or we're coming together where it's just our partner and we don't have that extended family and that long, 12, 24, grab a plate, sit around, all the things that we used to do, but we'll do again, but it's a little different, right? So when I say, this is a time for us to start anew. What do I mean by that? It means to start once more again, right? If I say, okay, we're going to start anew, we're going to begin anew. It means that we're going to start once more again, that we're going to start to live in a different place. And when I mean a place, I mean we're going to start to live with a different sense of knowing, right? Especially when we say start anew, a lot of times that means you start anew after you've come from somewhere different or from a difficult period. And so we're in a difficult period right now. Like it's a change and it's uncomfortable and it's new, but like, guess what? We get to start anew. Not only do we get to start anew, like with our Thanksgiving and how that's going to look like, but we start anew every day, right? Like we cast and go out into the deep with each other every day. We wake up the sun rises every morning and we have a fresh start to start anew, to begin again. And that's my encouragement for you this week, that this will be a week where you will show up and you will begin to start anew, that your sense of gratitude, your sense of graciousness, your sense of fortitude and strength and power and wisdom, what you are folded into, that will strengthen you and be your foundation as you start anew, right? And so I just encourage you this week that instead of like thinking about all the, coulda, woulda, shoulda of how it can't be, let's just put that on the shelf, right? Like let's just put that on the shelf and really think about how we can start anew and what we choose to be folded into this week. And for me, my heart for you is that you will be folded into a sense not of confusion, but of clarity, that you will be folded into a sense of wisdom and of knowing, that your eyes and your ears will be so clear that gratitude will just start to pop up all around you, and you will come to the center of the table completely known and completely anew. So I just want to thank you for joining me this morning on the Journey of Mela Lifestyle. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you for all just the encouragement, because we are building something, a lot of times when you're doing something new, or when you're doing something that's very progressive, you really don't have a roadmap, right? Like what I'm choosing to build and to grow in this movement, for me, is so much bigger than me. And at times I feel like I don't really have a quote unquote roadmap of, oh, well, this is how it looked before, because I feel like, Mela Lifestyle and our community and our tribe and all the things that we get to do, whether it's in the kitchen, inspiration, product, brands, wellness, encouragement, like I really think of all of you, right? So I think of, oh, what did I need at that time? Because, I didn't start out like making mac and cheese. Like I didn't start out making beautiful table settings. What happened was that I had the gift of being able to, have the strong business acumen of being able to, build a business and build a family. And when I was doing that, I had my grandmother, who was like this beautiful Southern homemaker who did things a certain way. But I was in this environment where it was very big and it was very full and it was very much about certain things. And I kind of had to research these things on my own. I had to get the etiquette book, get the parenting book. I had to, get the cookbooks. I sought after that because for me, I knew I wanted my family to experience something and I knew I wanted my kids to really understand and know what our home was, and this was all very new for me. But just because it was new for me, I still needed to give that to my kids. And so I just went after it, and I learned, and I talked to my grandma at times, I talked to my mom at times, but sometimes their experience of how they kept a home and how they cooked and how they raised a family, it looked a lot different in the environment that I was in, with my kids and my family. And different doesn't all, it's not, I always say it's not either or, it's yes and. So it wasn't good or bad, it was just different. And I know a lot of you, when I talk to you, you share with me how, you've had these amazing people in your life. You pushed yourself so hard. You got the job, you got the house, you have the walk-in pantry, you have the beautiful marble island, you have all the, you checked all the boxes, and now you're in this place and something more is being expected of you, because you have all the things, but now it's like, how do I have a dinner party? How do I set a table? How do I have a cocktail party? How do I send out a Christmas card? How do I make my list? All those little things that you just want to figure out, and you feel like the person in culture who gives the tools for that really isn't reflective of you, or the person in culture who is seen as the mastermind of that doesn't really reflect, like, makes it feel awkward or makes it feel like overwhelming. And so that's what we're doing at Mela Lifestyle, right? You're like, you don't have to do it like your mom. Like, you don't have to, like, my person was Mama Scott. You don't have to do it like Mama Scott. Like, you can do it like you. And what we're doing is we're saying, hey, it's okay not to know. Hey, it's okay if you weren't raised this way. Hey, it's okay if you don't know where to put the fork or spoon. Hey, it's okay if it's your first dinner party and you're trying to do all the things. All that is okay. And guess what we get to do? We get to go through it together, right? And you get to have someone alongside you who figured it out. My daughter's 19, my son's 23, so who figured it out 19 years ago, right? Who was, the youngest mom at the school, who built the home, but, was still, like, felt out of sorts, and so all those things are okay, and we're gonna figure out, and you know what the good news is? We get to have this little pause where we get to kind of go deep and just hang out with each other and experience each other, and we get to start anew. So this morning on Mela Lifestyle, may you just be folded into the promise of anew, right? May you just be folded into the community of Mela Lifestyle. May you just be folded into a peace that surpasses all your understanding of what was or what could be. That right here, right now, these are our meditations for this morning. So thank you for joining me on the Journey of Mela Lifestyle. And together we're going to get stronger, we're going to get wiser, and we're going to do better. Ciao for now.